This conference will now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So today I'm going to discuss about what is Vault, Hashicorp Vault. Why do we need it? Architecture of it, component of it, different policies, tokens, command line, APIs, UIs, and many things. Okay, authentication methods and all. So let's get started. So what is Vault? So Vault is one of the product from Hashicorp. I have taught you multiple product from Hashicorp. One of the product which I taught you is very first one, Vagrant. Then the second one I taught you this one. What do you say? Uh, Terraform, Packer, and now Vault. So all of their products are very good for the software engineers and SRE and DevOps. So manage secrets and protect sensitive data. That means Vault is a place where you can store your secret and secured it. Okay. Secure stored and tightly control access to token, password, certificate, encryption keys for protecting secrets and other sensitive data using UI, CLI, and HTTP API. Okay, so this is something which we have. So HashiCorp Vault, which is a secret lifecycle manager written in Go, multiple operating system, and same binary for client and server. So here, life secret manager means what? Secret lifecycle manager means what? So secret lifecycle means you want to store the secret. That is a life cycle. You want to store the secret or create a secret. You want to read the secret. You want to modify the secret. You want to delete the secret. So these are the life cycle of the secrets. So yeah, this place, HashiCorp Vault, you can do that also. This tool is written in Go. By the way, all the products of HashiCorp is written in Go. And because you know the Go is a platform independent. So yes, HashiCorp Vault you can install in Windows, Linux, Mac, wherever you want it. Now, the best part is in the Hashicorp, you want to set up a server or client, you need a same executable. Yes, that means you don't have to download too many things. One executable will work for everything. Okay, so now you see that here, this is a architecture, how it works. So in the middle, you see you have a Hashicorp. How can you access the Hashicorp? So you have to use API for it. Okay, so Hashicorp is accessible over the API. So now you can access the API you can access directly through command line, first human, then programs like a code and all you can also access, and some clients are also available. You can access that API. And then HashiCorp will manage authentications, policies, secret, audit. Authentication means how to log in. Simple, how to log in. You want to log in using token, password, or certain different roles or certain different way. How do we log into Vault? For what? Accessing secret. Next one is policy. Policy means what? So policy is
Um,
basically,
hey, Rajesh, are you using the slides? Because I still see slide number one, manage secrets and protect sensitive data slide.
is it for everyone?
No, we are able to see.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll
we are able
disconnect
to.
and join back.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
So next one you see is policies. So what is policies? So policies means C. One thing is called authentication. Second we call authorization. Means you logged in, okay, but what access you have? Users or code or client, what access you have in a vault. So how do you set it up? Who should be accessing what? And level of access, read, write, edit, delete, all this thing. Where we should set it up. So that we set it up in the policies. We call it policies. That means authorization module is equal to policies in Vault. Now secret is something that is your password. Secret is something your password, key, certificate, token, OTP. All this thing is a secret. It's representing a secret. Okay, so that is the third component of Vault server. And the fourth one, logs, which will tell you audit reports of like who has access what kind of secret, what they did it, all these things. So it's the kind of things. So yes, Vault is a having multiple offering. So Vault is open source also. You can use Vault on the cloud and enterprise. Cloud and enterprise is a paid one actually. Okay. So open source is the one which I'm going to teach you. It's a command line options actually. So that means the Vault which I'm going to tell you, command line UI also is there. Yeah, UI is also there. And cloud is like hosted one, and enterprise, if you want to deploy the enterprise Vault in your premises, you can use for it. So yeah, that is something which you have. So yes, open source is always free. Cloud, you can see the charges per hour basis, and then custom deployment enterprise is again subject to the discussion with sales. So Vault is identity based security. What is identity? That means every users will have a certain identity and who has access what. So that way you can uniquely identify who's doing what. Okay, so Vault broker and deeply integrate with the trusted identities. Identities means your user is identities, your LDAP is identities, Active Directory is identity, your Google login is identities, like that. Okay, so trusted identities to automate access to secrets, data and system. Okay, so you see that here, which are the identity can be used. So you can use identity which include application and machine identity. So yeah, secure application and system with machine identity and automate credential issuance, rotations and more. Enable attestations of application and workload identity using Vault as a trusted authority. You can also use user identity to the Vault, user from AWS, user from the GitHub, Ping, Google Cloud, Okta, Azure. That also can be used to log into Vault. That is also possible. So and so on. Now, what are the common use cases of the Vault? There are so many use cases. Again, depends on your visualizations and stuff like that. So Vault is basically secret management. So you can centrally store, access, and deploy secret across application, system, and infrastructure. Vault is also dynamic secret. Dynamic secret means it will generate on the fly. You might be getting the OTP, right, which is active for a few minutes, or some immediate reset the password and you get the some password. So these are the dynamic secrets. Kubernetes secrets also you can store, use Vault for it. And database credential rotations, that means if you want the database password to be changed, those are the things also can be done using Vault. So yes, many things we can do with the Vault. Also, you can automate PKI infrastructure. That means certificate you want to keep updating it. So that also you can use it. Use Vault to quickly create certificate on demand and reduce the manual overhead. So Vault will take care of that one also. Identity based access. That means every individual have identity and they will be accessing. You can also encrypt the data and tokenize the data, and also key management you can use as a Vault. So this is the introduction of Hashicorp Vault. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Hello?
No, Rajesh.
Okay. So now the question is, how do we interact with the Vault? Okay. So yes, today in this session, I'm going to run the Vault in the dev mode. Okay. Dev mode. There's a multiple mode. We have production mode, development mode, all these things. So development mode, what happens? It's easy to learn and set up. And after that, once you are comfortable with the technology, you can run we can run in the production mode also. So just the one flag, if you pass dev mode versus production mode, automatically they'll convert into that. Some of the features are available in the dev mode which is not allowed in the production mode. Okay, so now the question is, how do we access the Vault server? So yes, you can access through the CLI, you can access through the UI, and yes, you can access through API also. And then you can also configure the environment variable for it. So running Vault in the development mode. So what is the impact here? So first start a Vault dev server. Okay. The dev server is built in pre-configured server that is not very secure, but useful for playing with the Vault locally. That means if you want to learn Vault dev mode, it's good for it. So dev server, which is automatically unseal Vault set up in memory storage. That means what is that? So what happens in a dev server? What happened? First of all, there is a one process called sealing, unsealing. So if you sealing means if the vault server is sealed, you cannot use it. If it's unsealed, then you can use it. So here you will get that when you start the dev server, vault dev server mode, then vault is unsealed by default. So that way you have to unsealing process, sealing and unsealing process, you can avoid it good faster. Now, whatever that when you start the dev server in the dev mode, whatever the secrets you stored, it will be stored in the memories. That means the moment vault server is gone, your secret is also gone. So this is good for learning purpose. Okay. So this is something which we have. So now what to do? How do we run the vault? So download the vault, start the vault, access the vault. That's all very simple. So now I'm going to help you with that only. Are you understanding all of you?
Yes, Raj.
Yes.
So I'm going to, okay, create one machine, new machine for this. And here, mind it, I'm showing you the demo in Linux, but actually you can use any operating system. Linux I'm showing you, so that way you will be aligned with the study environment. So for Vault, not required too much of memory, small instance is okay. And key is Datadog. Security wise, I'm allowing everything. Bad practice, but for learning, 8 GB is sufficient for it. One machine and launch it. Okay, so this is the machine I got it. And here, this is the machine. Now let me log into this. And Datadog. Where is that? Here it is. No. Let me just check it out. Yeah. So now username is Ubuntu. Enter and change settings, colors, appearance, bold, 12. Okay. Are you able to see that, all of you?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm going to download the vault. How do we download? So now you can visit the official website also, but just to save time, you know that everything I have noted down for myself. But you should also spend some time on the official website. So this is a way to install it. So let me do that in Ubuntu. And finally, and this command will install it. Okay. By the way, you can install in Windows also, Mac also, and you can also refer become comfortable with the official website. That way you will have a little bit more confidence. But right now, just to avoid the too much of time in session, I want that only point to be delivered. So not dragging it. Done. So guys, I installed the vault. Vault is ready here. See here. So these are the commands you have to get comfortable, and these are the other commands also. So yeah, command, APIs, UI, both you can do that. Okay, so now the question is, this is the installation front. Now, how do we get started? Okay, so now let me start with in the flow. So I did this. Let me close this. I completed this one. So yeah, so here look at this. This is the installation instruction, and for the Windows, those who are using Choco Windows, you can go for this. But the below side, if you see, these are the instruction for the Linux. Okay, so when we start the development mode, what happens? So here you see, this is just installation instruction. I did it. I just showed you. Now development mode, I discuss about it. Mind it, running on the local host without SSL. That means when you run the development mode, it is running in the local host but without SSL. Again, in memory storage are there. In memory storage means memory, everything is stored in the memory. So if it is stopped, then everything is lost. And I just said server have a sealed and unsealed process to use it. So it's automatically start with unsealed. That means you don't have to unseal actually. And the UI enabled is there. That means development you have a UI enabled, and key value secret engines are default. Secret engine is something which I'll discuss in some time, which is enabled by default. Okay, so now seal and unseal process, which includes like when a vault server is started, is start in the sealed state. In this state, vault is configured to know where and how the access is physical, how the access physical storage, but does not know how to decrypt any of it. So unsealing is a process of obtaining plain text root key necessary to read the decryption key to decrypt the data, allowing access to the vault. Prior to unsealing, almost no operating system is possible with a vault. So for example, authentication, managing the data, and so on. So basically, if you want to use it, you have to unseal it. Okay, so this is something done. Now the question is, how do we start the dev server in a dev mode? I mean dev mode, yeah. So the question, I'll from here I will follow a little bit of my notes also. So I'll go for vault because copy paste I want to do. Typing is little time consuming. So I'll keep explaining to you. So you see here, I am going to do this one. So working with the secret engine, no. Policies, no. This is the one. Okay. So lamb manual, I think this is the Windows. This is Linux. So let's start with here. I think I'll start with this one. Sorry. So one by one, we'll start it. Okay. So first thing, this is the manual which I'm going to follow. It will help you to copy the commands. Very simple. So now I installed it already. Now this command will help you with all the help options. Okay, look at this. This command will help you the sub commands that let's say server. Vault server is a command which will help me to start the server, and so many modes you have. Look at this here, so many modes you have. So okay, so right now I am starting with the dev mode, which is good for learnings. So this command will start the server. Same executable for command, same executable for server. I mean CLI and server both. Here, now it started. So you see here all this thing is started. Now you have to copy this one, and it's important for you. Okay, look at this, what it contains. So this contains some of the nodes for you. So they say, hey, your vault server is running on which port number? 8200. Mind it, this will be accessible only from the local host. Okay, so right now dev mode only accessible from the local host, and then 8200, that's the port number. But you have a see here, unseal key has been given. So if you want to use it, you can unseal it, but I told you dev mode you have already unsealed it, so no need to unseal it. And what is a root token? So that means any software installed, there is one admin ID and password, right? So here same way you have a root token. So that means this guy has every access what possible vault may have. It very secure. You need to keep it this one very secure. Okay, so now this is something which I did it. So because I lost the console, okay, just to get this one, I have to open up a new console. So far so good, all of you? Hello?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to log in. How do we log in? So here you can set the one environment variable in Linux. That's the beauty of it. And then you can use that as a variable. So that way you don't have to paste again and again. So here, can I do that? So, and this whole things, set it in the variable, in the shell, clear the screen. I set it up, and now this command to log in using command line. I repeat, this command to log in. So what you are saying, vault login. Even though if you vault login by default, it will try to hit the local host. But here I'm just adding that address. So if it is some other location, you can use it, and then root token. So guys, now I am running this one, and then enter. See here, success, login successful. So now what I did, I started the server in the dev mode. After that, from the new console, I just logged in to the local host and the 8200, and then this is the confirmation. Okay, are you okay with it, all of you?
Yes.
Okay, now guys, you can also, if you think this is a something, so you can also set this one. Okay, so that way it will be easy for you to get it done. So vault address is a default variable for the vault. Automatically, if you set, it will take it up. So here I think I did not set it up here, but here I am setting up. So you can also check that we have logged in or not. So you see here, you have logged in. Look at this, the login message, and that will help you to understand. So what we did, we logged in, and everything's good. Now this command will help you to log in as a API. Okay, so I logged in using the command line, but if you want to log in as an API, then also you can do that. So remember that this address I set it up just now before that. Okay, so this is the way to log in as a API. So remember the root token is set up, vault address is set up, so both is set up. So now I can log in as a API. So if you're doing some programming languages and all, this will work. See here, and here this is the response of the server. Okay, so that means you logged in as a API also. Okay, so did you understand how to set up the server, how to log in? So far so good, all of you?
Yeah, Rajesh. Yes.
Now guys, I'll show you one more thing in the Linux, because you know dev mode is always open with the local host, but in Windows I can also run it. So I have all this set up already, just to save your, I want to show you something. So go to C drive, go to tools, go to the vault. I have downloaded. Okay, so these all things you do that. Go to the command line, and then run this command. Same command I run in the Linux, Windows, same command. There's no difference. Okay, all commands is same. Here you see, I run in Windows. Why? Because I want to show you that what do you say, the UI part of it. Okay, so here there is a permission issues, so socket is not allowed. So what I should do, uh, go to the command line, and what is it? Go to the command line, run as administrator, and then run this. Uh, so here is Sage. So this is not taking. Why? Let me try. PowerShell administrator, and sorry, bad command. So the see, command is not a problem. What is happening? The problem is the port is not available. Which port? 808200. Now I'm not able to recall what I'm running actually in my machine, because every day some or other training is going on. But I am doubting. I think this guy is creating a trouble. So I'll just stop it. I have to uninstall it, because last session we had it microservices. So I did it all this thing, and should be
Rajesh,
okay
you need
now.
to run all the servers world,
All the server means?
like a Windows server, Linux server. We have a number
No,
of
no, no,
servers,
no, no.
right?
No. Just one machine. You are okay with that? Why I'm running in the Windows? Because I want to show you the UI part of it, so you feel little comfortable. Because many people get scared from the commands also, right? Yeah. So
Okay.
now let me run
Okay.
this. Wonderful. You see? Yeah. There's a noise coming from your side. Can you mute yourself? It will be easy for me. Thank you. Okay. So this is the one. It started. Now I came here only for the UI. Rest of the commands I'll do that through localhost in the Linux, but I want to show you the UI. Okay, 8200. Whatever I can do through command line, you can do through the UI also. This is the token. But I will not talk about the UI. Why? Because command is something you should learn. Here it is. So this is the UI of it. Now look at this here. Very simple way to understand. Where is the snippet? Here it is. Here, if you see that, this is the secret engine. Secret engine kind of, you can say, database where the keys are stored, secrets are stored. Okay. This is the access, means authorization. This is sorry, this is authentication, means who should be allowed to access. Policies means authorization, means what you are allowed. And certain tools are there, and seal and unseal and all. Very simple. So you have multiple secrets, multiple authentication possible, authorization multiple possible. So it's very simple. So you can work with it. See here, I have a default token and authentication method, multi-factor, OIDC, grouping, entities. Back to this tools, we have few, and then uh, access you have here, and then policies, you have a default policies, and secret engine I have a by default secret and chubby hole. Okay, so this is the UI. Okay, are you comfortable so far, all of you?
Yeah, Raju.
Okay, so now let's move on to the next lab, and that we should understand authentication option. Okay, so before that, let me complete the discussion. So I think I showed you CLI, UI, and API both actually. API curl, UI just now in Windows I show you, command line I showed you. So yeah, these are the commands I run it, so you should be comfortable with it. Okay, so now let's discuss about the vault authentication method. So these slides will help me. Yeah, so guys, this is the one of the best pictures ever I have got it for the vault. Okay, and this will give you all the understanding of what you have in a vault. I want to snippet this one to help you to understand. Look at this here. Which are the authentication method we available? By the way, some of these will be left out because this image I have taken from last year. Okay, so new support has not updated here. So but still it's too much to grasp it. So now the question is, if you ask me, Rajesh, how can I log into vault server? So one of this, you just now show me root access. You just saw that root access. You have seen that root access. Okay, so you logged in using this root access and API access, all this thing, you see that. But you want to know what is the other method, authentication methods you have it. So here, if you have access to Azure, you can allow to access Vault, Google Cloud, AWS, Kubernetes, LDAP, Okta, Radius, and token which I have shown you. You have user access also enable, user and password based authentication. So these are the small list of authentication method is supported to Vault. Are you understanding, all of you? Hello?
Yeah, Raju.
Okay, now when you logged in, okay, you logged in, but what you are allowed to do? That's called authorizations. So yes, in a here you can set up authorization that I'll talk about next. And after authentication authorization, what you have come for? You have come for storing the secrets. When I say secret, means you want to create a secret, or you want to store the secret, you want to edit the secret, you want to view the secret, you want to delete the secret. So this is the secret life cycle, right? So secret life cycle where you will store it. So by default, key value is supported. Let me show you why. Actually, it will be easier for your memory. See that secrets, this is the key and value based secret. That means this is inbuilt actually. And cubbyhole, it's a token for per token private secret storage. That means here you can store the token, and here you can store the key and value secret. So these are the two storage enabled you have it. But do you want to store in Azure, Google Cloud, AWS, Console, Nomad, or anywhere else? Again, lots of database option is there. PostgreSQL you want to store? Yes, you have available actually. MySQL you want to store? Everything you have available. So now these are the secret engine we call it. Engine we call it. So many options are available. Are you good with it?
Yes, Raju.
Yeah, yeah, yes,
Yeah.
Rajesh.
Yeah, so that's all you need to know. The question is you should know some of the authentication method, authorization method, and some of the database which is built in, and how to store the secret. Read, write, create, and delete the secret. That's all we have to know. So let's get into that here. So yeah, I talked about it. My authentication method we have provided by plugins, multiple method allowed. Some of the reference like LDAP, GitHub, AWS IAM, and many more. User pass and app internals are internal. User pass means user and password, and app role means without a password app role. So here you see access token is there, and I can enable this. I'm while talking, I will enable app role, and these are the one which is built in, and I enable it here. App role, enable the method. That means I got a two authentication method. You see, app role and token. Now enable one more, roles, app role. This is the demo part of it. Done. Oh, app role I did it right. Okay, sorry. So app role I did it. One more thing, user pass. Where is user pass? Here it is. Next, user pass. Done. So I'm doing through command line. I mean doing through UI, but I'll show you through the command line also. So 3 you got it. Okay. So this is something which you have to enable it, and automatically start working. Token method is enabled by default, which I showed you just now. And remember that because it's an API based, everything is accessible on the path. I repeat, Vault support the API based one. For everything you have a path and used to obtain a token. So yeah, some of the authentication method categories are include AWS, Azure, GCP, Kubernetes, Cloud Foundry, GitHub, LDAP, Radius, Keybros, Token, User Pass, App Role. So I'm going to show you the demo around Token, User Pass, and App Role because it is a default. Okay, not with others, but it's easily integratable. Okay, so this is the authentication method. So authentication method, you have to choose very wisely based on the who's going to access vault, how are they going to access it, what do they use today, and stuff like that. Okay, so you have to also check that which is a good solution for you. For example, if you want human, then username and password is good for you. If you want system, then app role is good for you. Okay, machine talk to the vault, then app role is good for you. Okay, so here used for machine and application, and this authentication is done by role ID and secret ID, and push and pull of the secret ID, you can do that. So yes, some of the scenarios which you have, I'll just ignore it. This one not needed, and so on. So authentication method is done. So now let's get started with the demo of whatever I did through command line. So for that, I'm going to follow this one. Okay. So lab manual 2. So here I have already logged in. I have started, already exported, already logged in, auth list. From here, I'm going to run it. Look at my screen, all of you carefully. First, I'm going to check this. Auth list. How many token? Because I showed you UI also. So token was enabled, and I enabled 2 more extra, but you have to do through command line, right? How do we do that? So this is the way you can enable the user pass. Vault, auth, enable user pass. Same thing I showed you through the UI also. Very simple. Now you see that, but a user pass. Now let me enable the app role also. And now you got app role also. See, so these are the 3 authentication method you have it. Remember, token is a super admin access. User pass, like you can use it for the human. App role, you can use it for the machine or an application. So these are the 3 method which you have it. Okay, so far so good, all of you.
Yes, Rajesh.
Now you have to tune it. See here, when I list out, there is a description missing. So description, to use it, to provide the description, you have to tune it. This command is for tuning. So I'm just copying and pasting. You can practice it, and you see that now all this tuning is happened and description has come. So this is for the glomatics and user pass and user role. So that is done. Now guys, because I told you Vault is API based. So for everything you have a API path. I repeat, API path. Now, when you see that, how do you know which are the options available for which path? How many APIs options are available? So it's very difficult to understand. So again, you have to get used to this concept of working, because it's all about the path. Okay, Kubernetes cloud native products, you will go and you will find only path based. So how do you know which are the options available? So here if I see, I have one options auth model available, app role, token, and user pass. So how do I know in a auth API user pass what are the options available? So help command, path help, you can use it. So here path help, and these are the options available. Login, users, again login, users, all these things. So these are the some examples for the path, and you should read it, not rush it. You should read it. So that way you will build the understanding. So login is there one. If you want to display the login with the specific user, you have to use login and username. You want to list out the people, then users, and reset the password, users and the username, and then password. If you want to update the policies, these are the commands format. So this is how you have to look at this. If you want to deep dive into that, look at this. Again, few options are available for that. Okay, so this is the way you should look at the help file. Okay, this again path help, which will tell you something. So now the question is what you want. So I have enabled two method. Token was there, user pass I enabled, and app role I enabled. So user pass, I want to create user. How do we create? So look at this here. Auth, user pass, users, and the username. So this is the username, and the parameters password is tacos. So the password is tacos. So this way it will create a username. Okay. So I created one user, Ned, and you see success. One user is created, and the password is tacos. Okay. So now you want to create one role also, right? So if you want to see the help file, you should run this command, read it carefully, spend few minutes of time, because the mindset has to be adopted for the path based structure. But how do we create a app role actually? So here you are creating one role. You look at this auth, this one is not there. What was the, I have created app role itself, so this name is not there. So here I am going to create one role. I'm changing this command, and this command, the role name is app role itself. So this is the auth app role, and the role you want to create web app. So this will be created web app here, and role name and secret ID number of users. So how many number of times you can use it, and how many times this validity for this app role, 2 hours. Okay. So I'm creating this one, clear the screen, done. Now here you see app role is created. So now what I did, I created one app role, and here again same thing. This command, I run it just now. This command is not needed. Okay, so what I did, I created one user with the password. I created one app role with the one time use and 2 hours validity. Are you okay with it, all of you?
Yes.
Now the question is, how do we log in as a NED? Because I logged in as a root. So what I have to do, I have to create a new duplicate screen, and here Ubuntu, because console is same, right? And then now I'm going to log in as a NED. So this command will tell you. And the password was tacos, right? TACOS, tacos. Here it says, see here says HTTPS. So by default it's looking at the HTTPS. Okay. So I need to make it hard code with HTTP. How do I do that? So for that, there is one command you see, remember this one? I forgot to set. This is the best way to do that. And now log in one more time. And TACOS tacos, now authenticated. So this user with the password authenticated, login success. You have it. So now the question is how to log in. If you create another user and you want to log in, how to log in? Now you know that. Now if you want to check the auth list, all this thing, what is this? What is this problem? Any idea why this guy is having, why Ned is the user who's not having access, right? It's access problem, right? Hello? So
Yeah,
this guy,
Rajesh.
yeah. So this guy is able to log in. Understand that. Remember, authentication versus authorization. So this guy is able to log in, but cannot access the resources.
Role
But
need
here,
to be
if I
associated, right?
policies,
Policies.
yeah, policies for authorizations. So now the same command, if I run from the root user, see, okay, what happened? Wait a second. Something is happening. Okay. Sorry. The problem is, I'll tell you. So this machine is also Ubuntu. This machine is the same. So this session has been taken it. So what I need to do, I have to log out or log in again. So now again I have to log in. How do I log in? So same command last time, which we run it. Directly you can run the vault login. That is not a problem. So here clear the screen. Vault login and token. I stored it somewhere. Remember there is a two user root. Don't get confused, and token. Now you can run this command. Okay, so go down. This is one, right? Not needed. Not needed. Two. Yeah. So now if you run this command, see, this is a root login. But last time which I logged in as a NED, so that was a problem. Okay. So this is the way you have to do that. Now the question is, how do we log in as a role? That is a question. So this I logged in as a user, but I want to log in as a role. What to do? So here I'm going to log in as a role. How? Look at this. So first you have to read that. You have to become root, okay, and get the role ID. What is the role ID? So this command will get you the role ID for which one. So you have to change. This command will work, not this command. Remember, here the authentication method is this one, but I created this one. Okay. So here, clear the screen. What is ID? This is the ID. You want to store it this ID in your notes because I need you to create it. And then finally, you are going to set as a role ID like this. Like this. And set it up. Clear the screen. Done. And then now I am going to create a secret ID for that particular role. Okay. So role ID is a role based authentication. So role ID, I got it. But for the secret ID, I'm going to get it using this command. Let me remind you, this is only one time use. Okay. So let me get the secret ID for writing this force. Secret ID for this role ID. And I got the secret ID. And now I'll store the secret ID in my notepad just for copy pasting. And then secret ID is this one. Okay. Secret ID, I'm going to set it up. Now this variable I will also set it up. So this is also done. So now if you see that I set the two variable role ID and secret ID. I can hard code also, but it's easy for doing that. Now how do we access the role ID and secret ID? So now you can log in using role ID. How? So this command will work. First command will not work because it's a different authentication method, right? So look at this here. Right? Auth app role login. This is the login. Role ID, which is set by the variable. So can I log in? Enter. See, login successful. Now one more time. One more time I did it. Why did not log? What is the reason?
Duplicate.
Any idea? Huh?
One time you set it.
Sorry?
One time you set it.
Yes. Remember the role ID is for the, you set the one time somewhere. Here see, number of users. So this will, after users, it automatically is gone. You cannot use it. Okay. Now this is the way you have to log in as a role ID, role app. Now this is the way to log in using role ID and secret ID using the curl command. Okay. So if you are interested in the curl, you can try this one, but you can try all this thing. Okay. So now what to do? You want to disable that some of the authentication, you can run this command and enable disable. All this thing is very simple. So now guys, did you understand that? How can we enable authentications? How can we enable the user pass? How can we enable the role app? And how to use to authenticate, how to log in as a user ID and password, and how to log in as a role ID. Are you comfortable, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the problem what we have is those users is not having access, and that is a problem. How do we deal with it? So I told you we just discussed about the authentication method. Now we have to work with authorization, and authorization in Vault, what we call it is policy. Okay, what we call it? Policy. So configuring Vault policies. Okay, so now this one will do that policies, and last one secret engine, which is pending. If you look at this image, see that this is completed. Now I'll give access to the user and role ID, role app, and then after that, using that access, you can do creating secrets in the secret engine. Okay, all of you understood this? All of you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so let's have one break for 15 minutes.